welcome to another edition of Azure Every Day. My name is Andy Letourneau. I am a consultant at Pragmatic Works, and today I'm going to share some tips on preparing for the new Azure exams. Your first stop should be to review the exam overview page, especially the skills measured section, as that is the official list of topics that the exam covers. Next, make sure you take some online classes. You can find free Azure classes on Microsoft Learn. Some of these are hosted by Pluralsight, and others are within Microsoft's Learning pages. You will also want to get experience in Azure itself. Be sure to check out the Microsoft Hands-On Labs, which allow you to get practical Azure experience without incurring costs from your own paid Azure subscriptions. Finally, be sure to take a few practice tests. I recommend Microsoft's official practice exam vendor MeasureUp because they have the most up-to-date practice exams, which include all of the current types of questions, including scenario-based single-answer questions, case studies with numerous questions, picture-based single-answer questions, multiple-choice questions, and Mad Lib type questions. In addition to the questions, though, your exams are going to have labs. These new labs will require you to log into a live environment and complete a number of tasks, either on premises or in Azure, and it's not a simulation, and it's not a stripped-down environment. The lab environments provide real-world scenarios to truly test your skills and abilities. The exams will always begin with a series of conventional questions to provide time for the labs to be provisioned and loaded into the environment. If you answer these questions too quickly, you will find that you have to wait for the labs to finish loading. However, be sure to carefully manage your time in the exam because at the end of each section, you can review your answers, but as soon as you say you're finished with that section, you can never return to it again. In the labs, fortunately, you do not have to wait for a task to complete before moving on to the next one. So, for example, if in the lab they ask you to create a virtual machine with these specifications, then all you have to do is go into the portal, create the VM, and then hit create. As soon as you've done that, that's good enough. It will finish provisioning that virtual machine while you're taking the rest of the test, so you don't have to wait for it to finish. This is a good thing because there are some objects in Azure which take a very long time to provision, and no, you don't have to wait for them. Microsoft will have you do other things in the lab with things that are similar to what you just provisioned to go make changes to those, so you really don't have to worry about timing on finishing up things. Just kick it off, and you know that it's good to go, and the lab will continue running in the background as you're doing the next section, so it's not like it's going to be shut down and you're going to fail because it didn't finish provisioning. The exam is always scored on the end result, not on how the tasks were executed. So if you start to create something and it's incorrect, you can delete it and then redo it, and as long as the final result is correct, you will get full points for that. Now, each role-based certification will expire in 2 years. That may not sound like a good thing. However, given the rate at which Azure changes, it really makes sense. The current certifications have to align with the current state of Azure. Azure is very rapidly changing, so even in 2 years, whatever you know, much of that is going to be obsolete in 2 years from time. Microsoft has not yet announced what the recertification requirements will be. If you'd like to talk about preparing for the new Azure exams or have other questions on Azure, click the link below for more information. We'll be happy to discuss it further with you. Good day.